Welcome back, fellow pilots. Today we're going to get oriented in the Cirrus SR22 and also the Garmin 3000 series. So let's get started. I'm sitting here on the ground at Key West, and I like to use the checklist that come with Microsoft Flight Simulator. But if you're a real die-hard pilot fan, check this out. You can just Google the type of aircraft that you're using and just Google like SR22 Checklist, and look at this. This is the actual pilot's operating handbook for the starting engine checklist for the Cirrus SR22. So you can do like your before starting engine checklist, so on and so forth. So if you're a real diehard, you can either print these out, you could buy a copy on Amazon. There's usually about 10 or 20 bucks, and you can do the real life checklist. So those simmers who like to do that are going to have fun. While we're talking about real diehard simmers, I like to use skyvector.com. So here we are on the ground at Key West. I like to get all the information from the real aviation charts rather than the ones in the sim because they're a little light. So let's just use the one that's in the sim for now, and then we can compare it later. So let's start by setting the parking brake. Parking brake right here, you can see is set, I believe. Pull on, yeah, I can see the set, great. Battery switches, battery right here. I'll just turn on battery 1 and battery 2, great. You can hear the fuel pump running. I must have left that on from before. Alright, strobe light on to let everyone out there know that we're about to be starting the engine up. Mixture will go full rich. Somebody asked me how I set my these. I have a split throttle, so I basically put that one half of the throttle up for mixture, and then I'll set my power level full forward. Time to prime this. Priming. I should be able to see that I've got some fuel flow. Yes, I do. Fuel flow is good. Alright, I can now switch that primer over to boost. You can hear it working. Power level open to about 1/4 inch. Great. Over to ignition. Start it up. There you go. Power level just pulled back. You want to get about 1,000. Oh, yikes. We're rolling forward. Is my parking brake set? Now it is. Oh, yikes. That was scary. I didn't have it set. Alright, either way, we're good now. Now I can turn off my boost pump. Great. Alright, so that's just the abbreviated sim version of the list. If you want to do this in real life, pull up the real pilot's operating handbook. Every single airplane that's manufactured in modern days has one of these, and you can just Google it. It's that simple. Alright, let's get the MultiFunction Display fired up. This is the PFD, primary function display. Here's the MFD. Do that by turning on the alternator. Bam, bam, and then the avionics. Avionics is protected from the other electronics because when you're starting the engine, you don't want a high voltage shock to go through these sensitive avionics. Alright, so we've got our G1000 firing up. This is the MFD. This is what I like to think of as almost like this, like an iPad or like a moving map display. There's a lot of information over here. Like if I need to switch between these 4 pages, I've got my map, waypoint, auxiliary, and the nearest. I switch between those chapters, I'm going to call them. I call them chapters with my students by switching the big wheel. So big wheel, big chapter. So here's our moving map. Great. You can zoom in and out like this. That's zooming in. I'm using my mouse wheel to do this, by the way. Switch over to the next chapter. This is all information about the waypoint. Right now we're looking at the airport. Mike 01, it's giving us all the information about that. I'll help you with that again in just a second. Auxiliary is how you could change all the settings. In the flight sim, there are very limited auxiliary settings. All it's letting you do is change your channel spacing on your communications. So you could be between United States and European spacing. That's the only difference that you're allowed to change here. In real life, there's many, many different settings you can change. And then finally, this is a nice one, nearest. So I can look at the nearest airports here, and I can get all the information about that. Let me show you how to select a different airport. So you want to get a cursor by hitting the top of this button here, and then big wheel for big changes. I'm going to take that flashing cursor, I'm going to roll it down, 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 down. I want to get information about some of the nearest airports. In this case, I want information about Marathon, because that's our destination. So KMTH, I'll push enter to get some information about it. You can see Florida Keys Marathon, it's at 0 feet. It's got a runway 725. Those runways are 1,520 feet. Almost 30 feet wide. It's got all of my approach frequencies. It's got even all of the different IFR approaches you can use. So that's how you get a little little bit of information about your destination using the MFD. I hope that helps you. Let's pop on over to the PFD real quick. Last thing I want to show you today is how I like to set my settings up to go. Let's pop over to the Realflight Charts over here. So look on the information for Key West. You click right here. Let's get an airport diagram. This airport diagram has everything that you would ever need to know about Key West Airport. It shows you where you are on the airport. I know that I'm parked over on the commercial ramp, and it also shows you your frequencies. So ATIS, the Automated Terminal Information Service, 119767. Let's go and see if I can punch that in. 11967. You switch between these by pushing the top of that. Now I'm on COM2, and then you switch these. Big wheel for big numbers, small wheel for small numbers. That's simple. Switch it over to active, and now if you want to listen to it, that's on COM2. You go down to your audio panel, listen to COM2.
Key West Airport Information Echo 1600
Information Echo
275 at 8.
275 at 8.
6.
Visibility 6.
Sky condition 1,100 feet.
1,000. Alright, so now let's do one last thing. I want to compare that to the real weather in real life. SkyVector is great because it's giving you real up-to-date information. Watch this. I mouse over Key West. I should be able to do this. Come on. I want to mouse over Key West, and I want to see the weather at Key West. I used to do this. Hang on. Let's see if I can figure it out. Layers. Text weather. That's what I was missing. Okay, so now I got my text weather. I went over to VFR. Text weather. Now I should be able to mouse over and get the weather. There it is. So Key West, I'm going to decode this for you real quick. Key West Airport on the 2nd day of May at 1653 Zulu time. The winds are 140 at 13. Visibility is 10 statute miles. The skies are clear. Temperature 2.22. Altimeter 3001. Alright, let's see how that compares to the actual in-flight weather. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to listen again.
Key West Airport Information Echo 1600 Zulu. Wind 275 at 8.
275 at 8. That's different winds than it is in real life. Did you catch that? 275 at 8. And in real life, they are reporting 140 at 13. Okay, so close. Hopefully that'll be enough to get you all started. Message me when you have any questions, and I'll be here to help you out. Fly safe. Goodbye.